There are several foreign institutions influencing life in Nigeria, nay Africa. They include they include the World Bank, the multinational corporations or organizations, including the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Uh, Not to talk of contracting companies making roads in Africa from European, American, and Asian countries. But the three most uh, decisive institutions that we want to consider in this video are Christianity, Islam, and Western education. Because these are called institutions that are supposed to be of God, with particular reference to Christianity and Islam, that are tagged religions of God, on the basis of which traditional Africa is demonized as idolatrous. Let's put it that way, idolatrous. But what have these institutions, Christianity and Islam, before we go to the third one, Western education? Although, as I said in another video, Christianity, Western education, Christianity and Western education came together through the Christian missionaries, but later embraced by Islam, Muslim organizations, who also started to build schools because they saw that the Christian missionaries were using the schools to convert African children, to indoctrinate and convert African children. And so the three institutions became entangled and rolled up into one, because Christianity, Islam, and Western education have become rolled up into one, in the sense that the Western institutions, the schools, are controlled by Christians and Muslims, even controlling what is taught in our schools, monitoring and controlling what is taught in our schools. I can tell you the story, a true story of even some vice chancellors who will not accept researches that contradict whatever is idolized by Christians or Muslims. Just for that reason. Not that the findings of the research is not true, but that it tends to expose Christian or Muslim lie about life and reality. If a whole vice chancellor says an article cannot be published just for saying that Islam was spread through jihadist wars, I give that only as an example. If you go to the Christian angle of it, you will find something similar. For a religion that claims that Jesus Christ took away the sins of the world, and then you ask, are the sins of the world now gone? If the vice chancellor is a prophet, Christian pastor, general overseer, or something of that nature, you don't expect that article to see the light of day. If the university authority should have a say in its publication. So, the three institutions, Christianity, Islam, Western education, have become entangled and spoiling people's brains, and corrupting people's conscience. To the extent the leaders of the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities could single-handedly amend the constitution to be extorting a percentage of each ASUU member's monthly salary in the university system, and getting fraudulent academic allowance shared with the non-academic unions to stall implementation of an agreement made towards improving welfare of workers. The leaders getting money that's a scam, a bribe, and academic allowance. Fraudulent and academic allowance, not allowances calculated for the workers on the basis of having earned them. Fraud, scam, Western education. So, what do you expect from institutions that are money-based? Church, mosque, extravagant buildings, robust clergies. So, and that is why corruption has become second nature to Nigeria's rulers. And they also know that once they can satisfy church and mosque, so to say, Christianity and Islam, they are covered. Hence, Bola Ahmed Tinubu could remove subsidies from basic necessities of life and be subsidizing pilgrimages to please the Christian and Islamic imperialists. So, why are those committing homicide money ritual? Why have they not been exposed and ridiculed? Some of them killed in public, in the public space, shot and killed, as used to happen to armed robbers in those days. Shot at the stake. Why? Because those behind it are powerful people in the religious political arena. So, but if it were to be by adherents of African traditional religion, you will have, because that's what they want, to expose traditional Africa to ridicule. But let them go and Google those involved. They are Christians and Muslims. Sometimes Afar, sometimes pastor, and behind it, some prophets, some imams, some Afars. You see it? That's it. Why is Nigeria a nation blessed with abundance of human and mineral resources, wallowing in abject poverty in respect of the overwhelming masses of the people. Why? Because we are told Christianity is of God, Islam is of God. It's only African traditional religion that is not of God. While they know that if they allow traditional Africa to be involved, to deploy the powers, they dare not swear falsely regarding corruption. But they will tell you, no, that is not of God. To swear by African traditional means, they will rather swear by book, Bible, Quran, books, manufactured books. You don't have to be a Muslim to have Quran. You don't have to be a Christian to have Bible. I bought some when I traveled. I never bought any in Nigeria. When I traveled and I was gathering books as a religious scholar, I bought some. About 2 or 3 versions of the Quran. Because it's a book that you can buy. And now, should they hear that I set my Quran ablaze, though I don't do that, why should I set it ablaze? I bought it so that I can use it as a scholar to know what is in it. But if anybody bought it and said the braggadocio of the Muslims is too much, and and then of course they paint the idea that anybody who mishandle Quran, something evil will happen. And then the person, okay, I want to see the evil that will happen, and said it. But where I'm going is that, why is Nigeria what it is, despite Christianity, Islam, and Western education? But I'm saying, look at the fraud. Fuel subsidy in a nation living on fuel money. And the leaders of the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian universities amending the constitution behind the members and imposing extortion of a percentage of each worker's monthly salary monthly on the members, and getting fraudulent earned academic allowance to stall increment of salaries for the members because of the pockets of the leaders of the unions, academic and non-academic. So if you look at Nigeria from the point of view of ASUU alone, and from the point of view of fuel subsidy is gone, all the other subsidies are gone, and that funds are now transferred to indigent households while sinking Nigeria in debt, while insecurities are escalating, economic hardship escalating. And yet, privileged Christians and Muslims can have their pilgrimages subsidized. So, what are the influences and the effects of Christianity, Islam, and Western education, if they are not all haram together? So, it's not just Boko Haram, Christo-Islamic and Boko Haram. They have become entangled into one, weighing down on Nigeria, retrogressing Nigeria, destroying Nigeria, creating insecurities and worsening economic agony.